could see the ground below. Or if we were low, traveling low, we would look out like we're in the van here. And then we would do something or be someplace, and then we would fog out again, and then we would come, the visual would come back. When we fogged out, all we could see is light illuminated haze or fog. Like if I was looking in this direction, that scene would disappear and all I would see is light illuminated fog. And one of the scientific points of interest is that when we were on the ground, we would see a craft move, and it would move a little bit, and then it would phase out in the haze or fog. And then another craft, we thought another craft would gradually appear ahead of it in a distorted atmosphere, haze and fog. And then sometimes we saw three versions of the same, what eventually I assume was the same craft. It was phasing out, phasing in, phasing out, phasing in. So this one was phasing out, this was perfectly solid, and this was phasing in. It was the same craft. And if you read Eric Julian's Science of Extraterrestrial, it explains a new quantum leap discovery in physics that explains that time and space are flexible and that there are different times and spaces. And his theory is that the distorted atmosphere is evidence of that different time-space continuum. And somehow they're able to overlap that on our reality, our time and space. So it's perfectly scientifically possible, and Jack Casher in that interview, I believe Steve mentioned that, which is a monumental discovery. It validates all the American Indian spirituality, everything in the past. It validates the miracles in the Bible, all kinds of things. So we're on the threshold of discovery that will just blow our reality wide open. Aid to the unfortunate kids.
Well, there's supposed to be kids here.
That's all I know. So, and then we hovered down towards the interchange, and they pointed out Cunningham Lake and said that would be developed in the future. We came here, they hovered over the interchange, and they gave us all the attributes of the interstate highway and the interchange type of design for traffic flow.
Did you look around when you were here, or did you just look at the
we
building?
got out and I looked around. Actually, we didn't walk around, we just stayed for
Active in 1957. Landing experience here. There's a radar tower.
Anyway, so the time might have passed that we didn't take.
On the top that he had to sell because when the economy went price, we lost 120,000 out of it. It's that log house that's on State Street when you come around the bend. That's absolutely gorgeous. And that's where I had one of my life-changing experiences, was on that land. But
Where's that one? That's the south end has one of the symbols on it. Also, right here. I was standing like right here, and the voice was talking to me kind of behind it to my left. And there's a lot of other things that happened during that encounter.
Yeah, this is kind of like that building south, and then the hill that comes out, and we're down in the building down here in the north end.
what building is that?
You were talking about standing on top of that hill up here. I'm thinking that you're talking that it might be the school might be right down in here.
It faces east, and there was a student that went in, and it was explained that students would learn how to utilize pyramids for
Did it say how to do that then?
meditation in a pyramid.
Meditation in a pyramid, and that somehow they would enhance their abilities?
Yeah, they could make direct contact with whoever they're dealing with, and they would give them information about whatever they need to know. Colored, what seemed like electric corona in the sky above the sweat. And here again, I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you what happened, okay?
I'll be right back.
We aren't going to be able to see it. And the building is halfway down the slope, right here, towards that farmhouse.
That's where the school is.
The first school I was shooting at. Here in front, if you see this, you see what I mean, the front? This was my first meeting, personal meeting with what I call the familiar strangers. Here, Kendi and I showed up and I freaked out because I recognized the building. And I was so upset that we didn't go in. We turned and went up the valley towards Fontenelle Forest. And I started recognizing places along the road, and I got freaked out even more. And finally we decided to come back. Nobody answered the door. It was in the evening. And we walked in, and I knew exactly where to go. And I went through several rooms and walked back into the library. And I recognized every single one of them. I just about went crazy because it was so strange.
There's a power plant right here, and it's a landing at the Missouri River.
Particularly right here, and one right up in the back. See that big one right back there? And then this one, definitely, this is a strange story, and I'll tell you about it. The reason I was talking about those 4 directions is because during the time travels, when we landed someplace, I saw the lay of the land and everything, but when I went back later after my recollections, I realized, like here, it was turned around 180 degrees. This was south and that was north. And I was given a lecture about this tree and told how it grew and so forth, and some other things that Helen knows that we can't pass on. And I think that tree over there also, I'm not too sure about that. But this parking lot was here, the building was there, the door was there, which is very unusual. And the windows are exactly the same. It was really weird. Yeah, and that happened frequently during the time travels that I would notice when I went back that the reason I didn't recognize the spot before, for instance, with places I had been, is that it was turned around like 90
Looking
degrees
at
or
it from a
180
different
degrees.
direction. At one point in time, she had a pyramid built up on the
Yeah, I was
the
shown the
building.
pyramid during the time travel, and I was shown how it would be used and how we would use it out of the library. That there were some chairs that you could pull up like a block and tackle. You could pull
Set in
yourself up
different
towards
spots in the
into
pyramid.
the pyramid and bring your book and read the book, and you would get more out of the book and the information you were receiving if you were one of those chairs in the focal point. Now, isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's good information. We might have plans to build another pyramid up there.
Well, the library was right there.
Yeah. She had to build this whole front area as a fallout shelter.
Oh, she did. I noticed that, yeah,
concrete.
it's concrete rather than leave every Thursday. And more often even Fred did certain things. Sometimes we had a couple covered dish dinners. What else?
Oh, there's been a lot of stuff.
Oh, it was always like Sunday afternoon from 2 to 5. We'd always get together.
You guys carried on a UFO meeting here after I left.
Oh yeah.
Yep, Fred.